Jadon Sancho to Juventus. It's picking up based off the reports that I'm reading online. And I've also read that apparently today or sometime this week, Juventus' representatives have booked a call with Jadon Sancho and his agent and Manchester United to discuss this potential deal. And I feel like I'm the best person on YouTube to ask about Jadon Sancho. Now you're probably sat wondering why. And I feel like in this video, the time has come. Even though I was probably saving it for a day where I would do like a Q&A video, I feel like the time has come for me to tell you guys something which I'm of the mindset a lot of you guys know about me. I feel like anybody that's watched me throughout this entire past year would know this piece of information about me. And whenever any of you guys have asked this in the comments, I've always responded. I've always been transparent about it. But I feel like once you guys know this piece of information about me, one, I feel like a lot of you will unsubscribe. Two, a lot of you guys won't like the video anymore. But I feel like once you guys know this piece of information about me, you will actually begin to understand why I'm the best person to ask about Jadon Sancho. Now, I'm a Manchester United fan. Yes. It might be a shocker to some of you guys, but I feel like a lot of you guys know this. I'm very fortunate. I'm very grateful where I've grown up in a family that watches Serie A. They're Serie A fans, and because of that, I've always had exposure to Italian football from the age of 6, from the age of 7. I got to see the best years of Italian football, and because of that, I love the Serie A. The Serie A for me is the #1 league in the world, and because of that, I make Serie A content. And I feel because of that, I'm very objective. I'm very unbiased. Now, yes, there are a few teams in this area which I like more than others. I have their tops, I have their kits, I have their tracksuits. I like them more than others. But I am the best guy on YouTube to ask about Jadon Sancho potentially signing for Juventus. Now, I'd appreciate it if you guys hit the like, if you guys continue to support the channel, now that you know this crazy piece of news about me. I've had the displeasure, okay, that's the best word to put it. I've had the displeasure of watching this guy for the past 3 to 4 years. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. He's not that good. Juventus should stay away from him. Now, having said all of that, a few years ago, I was actually one of his biggest of fans. And when I was his fan, I made excuse after excuse after excuse. I defended him against everybody. Every time I watched him, I was excited. I was actually the biggest Jadon Sancho fanboy 4 or 5 years ago. But there came a season when reality hit me. And I realized this guy, the reality of him, the idea of him is far nicer than reality. I got to watch a guy game after game after game, season after season after season, give you the bare minimum off the ball. The bare minimum of the ball. And that's why I seriously question why Tudor, why Damian Commonly, the fact that Juventus are heading into this data-driven type of recruitment. Like, there's nothing about this guy when you look at his numbers off the ball that indicates he would suit a high-pressing Igor Tudor philosophy, okay? And I'll be honest with you guys, sometimes the numbers can paint you a different picture. And that's why I always tell you guys, when you use stats, you have to apply context, but at the same time, you have to watch a player with your own 2 eyes. And I feel like with him, off the ball, every club that he's ever been to, he's always been labelled as a guy that doesn't give 110 off the ball. He doesn't even give you 100%. He doesn't press. He doesn't track back. He's very passive in and out of possession. Like, you know those type of players that don't get stuck in. The type of players that shy away from the 50-50. And that's one of the reasons why it never worked out for him at Manchester United. It never ever worked out for him at Chelsea. What else? In possession. Very, very, very passive. Now me, everybody looks at football differently. I'm of the mindset, and this is why I have such a strong opinion on him. I'm of the mindset, if a club is about to pay 75 million for a player and they chase him for 2 summers in a row, as an attacking player, you need to be all about risk-taking. You need to have the X factor. You need to be able to beat your man. You need to be able to create goal-scoring opportunities. You need to be able to position yourself, get yourself into goal-scoring opportunities, and you need to be able to win your team games. Whether it's by being the goal scorer, whether it's by being the playmaker, whether it's by just being a player that has an impact in the final third, even if you don't get the goal, even if you don't get the assist. And this has all been criticism that's been dished out on Jadon Sancho from his time at Manchester United to his time at Chelsea. He's a winger that's very, very, very passive. Now, don't get me wrong. Is he a winger that's technically gifted? Yes. Is he a winger that plays the game of high IQ? Yes. Like Jadon Sancho, I am still of the mindset. Against the low block, he is one of those players that can unlock those low blocks. But the thing that separates him from some of the best wingers in the world is consistency. He will have you one good game out of 6, 7 appearances. The best of wingers decide and impact games 6 games out of 6, 6 out of 6, 7 out of 7, 10 out of 10. That's what separates the elite from the mediocre to the trash. And like I said to you guys at the beginning, I've had the displeasure of watching this guy in the Premier League season after season after season. Like, guys, it got to a stage where when he would receive the ball, I would be like, he's not doing anything. And he doesn't do anything. Flicks, tricks, stepovers, passes the ball backwards. Now, of course, some people are of the mindset he's a good ball retainer. So, for example, the narrative at the time was always you put him in a Pep Guardiola team that wants to play possession-based football. He's very good at retaining the ball. Yes. But when we're speaking about wingers that cost a lot of money, when we're speaking about wingers that are at the moment demanding 10 million a season, you have to offer more to a team offensively than just ball retention. You have to be a game changer, and not a game changer once a month. Because don't get me wrong, he's changed games for Man United. He's changed game for Chelsea. He went on loan to Borussia Dortmund and he changed games for them. The difference is the best of players change games on a consistent basis. He doesn't. And that's the main reason why not a lot of teams are looking at him. That's the main reason why a lot of teams are hesitant. That's the main reason why Chelsea didn't want to pay him the amount of money that he asked for. It's the main reason why Manchester United have been practically trying to get rid of him for the past 36 months. Now, when we're speaking about his mentality, I also don't think it's the best. I feel like he doesn't really carry himself the best. A few years ago, he had a falling out with the Manchester United manager. He was exiled from the team. 6 months, he was sent to train when the under-18s. He didn't play a single minute. Now, fair enough, some might look at it and say the manager disrespected him. No player is bigger than the manager, and this and that and this and that. Listen, at the end of the day, a manager might call you out. A manager might say something wrong about you in the public eye. You don't run to Twitter and become a keyboard warrior and dish out abuse at the manager at the club. You don't do those things. But he's got history in doing those things. And that's why, for me, it got to a period where I was like, you know what? This dude is not worth my defense. He's not worth my backing because he doesn't perform on the pitch. He doesn't really carry himself the best of ways. And as an attacking player, when I knew he was earning a lot of money, he wasn't proving his worth. And I feel like over time, that's why a lot of Manchester United fans turned on him. Over time, a lot of Chelsea fans didn't want to see him in the starting 11. And that's why now we've hit the roadblock, which is Juve are looking at him because he might come across as a bargain. And I feel like Juve are now heading down this tunnel which Manchester United went down, which Borussia Dortmund went down, which Chelsea went down, which is this kid. Like, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, this kid, when it comes to potential, when it comes to ability, when it comes to what he's done in a Borussia Dortmund top, he's actually a player that's worth taking the gamble on. But history has shown a lot of clubs have taken the gamble on him and it hasn't paid dividends. They haven't gotten anything in return that's substantial, that's consistent, that's worthy of them paying him X amount of money. And there's a reason why, like, let's be honest, going to the Turkish Super League at the age of 25, it's a massive step down. But it's because clubs across Europe are very familiar with him. And I said this the other day. He goes into that bracket of Joao Felix. Is Joao Felix a technical player? Yes. Is he technically gifted in some areas which players aren't? Yes. But does he have the mentality to succeed at the top level? No. Does he have the consistency on the pitch to succeed at the top level? No. Does he help his team off the ball in the modern game where every team is required to press? If you're not going to press, you have to get back into shape and be compact. Does he help the team in that department? No. And there's a reason why even when he went to Milan and Conceição was practically forcing players out of the team to play Joao Felix, it didn't pay dividends. Joao Felix, the last 10 games for Milan, was on the bench. Whenever he came on, every Milan fan looked at one another and said, he's not going to do anything. And he didn't do anything. I feel like there's a lot of players nowadays that fall into that bracket, where the reality of them, the highlight reels, the compilations, they make them look like serious footballers. But when you sit down and watch them 90 minute after 90 minute after 90 minute, you realise they're not really that good. They're not really that good. They're not really impactful. And I feel like as I've gotten older, I've now become of the mindset, which is technical ability isn't the be-all and end-all. You can be a technical player, but you can lack the physical elements which help you beat the opposition players, which help you to have an impact on games. Jadon Sancho is not physical. He's not strong. He's not fast. The mental side. I feel like mentally, he doesn't get stuck in mentally. He's not one of those guys that's going to walk in, rally the troops and lift everybody in the camp. If anything, he's a player that's going to need, you're going to have to be required to lift him up every single game of the week. You're going to be required to lift him up. And I'll be honest with you guys, because of that, I actually have a very strong opinion. I don't want to see him at Juventus. I don't. If he was to come, it's a gamble. Like, I'd be a liar if I told you guys this wasn't one of the biggest gambles that Juventus are taking, especially if they're going to pay the money that he wants and actually pay a fee to sign him. It can go one of two ways. But from what I know of Igor Tudor, from what I know of the way he wants to play, I don't know if this guy is the right solution. I'll be completely honest with you guys. Now, this is just me being honest. And like I said, you're not going to find anybody on YouTube that will be this honest with you guys based on the team that I support and the team that he's currently linked with. Make of it what you want. Now, if you're new, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on another one.